snowplows back at it, right in front of the Munich house on a Sunday night. They've been out there for about an hour and a half doing this fun stuff. Well, I've been sitting up here in goofball mode. I've decided, even though I've been acting like a whiny bitch, more than I should have, perhaps, that if I'm legitimately going to be in goofball mode, I'm going to write this Dronningens Gade book, which is about St. Thomas, the Charlotte Emily, and whatnot. So, hello, baby. This guy's the backup truck. As soon as he gets filled up there, which he probably almost is, this guy's gonna go scooching up there and take his place. That place right there with like the white in its door, a little to the left of that, is like this nightclub that gets pretty packed sometimes. And that's where I did my first rap performance in front of about 40 black dudes on that street corner right there. It's kind of entertaining and somewhat fun. Speaking of which, when I take little breaks from typing my book, I go over here and I do rap songs. What have I written tonight? Nothing too spectacular, but I'm always creating some things. Good scrapbooking of sorts. Ends up turning into something good later on. So, in any event, the whole point of this video was to show a little plow thing going by. And now that it's gone by, that's about good enough. Now that does look kind of weird like that. But I did it like that so all of the pictures could be seen out in the street. Which they can be. And it looks pretty neat having just this one building in downtown Chicopee have all this artwork lit up in the middle of the town. Damn, man, there's a lot of these guys out there. In any case, like I said, I'm in goofball mode. Instead of acting like an asshole, why not just act like me instead? It'll be more fun. Should I read a line from this book? It'd be kind of pointless and stupid because you have to read the whole book. And that wouldn't even matter anyways, because all the stuff I say about that is true. Unless it's actually published. Nobody gives a shit. Like, at all. So, I've decided to lock myself into this place for the next several months. Until I get some shit done. And can be entertained with shit like this. Bah! Where are you going, buddy? That seems kind of pointless. Munchkin House. That would probably be a good place to go out to dinner. I haven't even been over there yet, and I've been here for like a month. I should go do some investigating. And now that's the other thing I do. I have just the green light on sometimes. And then there's the illuminated green picture that can only be seen from out in the street. The fun and excitement of me doing what I do. And then there's this picture, which is going to take, oh, you have no idea. And when I say you have no idea, I mean I have no idea how long this is going to take to do. It's going to be a very long time. And this is the beginning of a list of literary agents that I need to start sending books like this to. Only I came from money or went to college. But, as it turns out, I wouldn't have had the crazy fun stories that I have had I done either of them. Alright, here's a line. This is from the Virgin Islands, too. When I was in the Virgin Islands, they had this TV network called the Tempo Network. And it had the Cross Caribbean Countdown, which was music from all sorts of Caribbean nations. Now, singers like Shaggy and Sean Paul and Rihanna and people like that, who used to be famous in the US but have kind of been just disappeared, dropped off the face of the planet, they haven't dropped off the face of the planet. Where they are is back in the Caribbean. And they're still making music. It just doesn't get played on the radio in America because it's not that good. So they get banished to the Cross Caribbean Countdown, which is only played in Jamaica, Dominica, St. Martin, St. Kitts, Nevis, Trinidad, Tobago, the Virgin Islands, so on and so forth. So, in any case, here's a paragraph from this book type device. Satisfied with the weather forecast. Oh, by the way, the main character is Jerry. He's an alien from another planet, sent to study humans in their natural environment or something. That's the basic, plot to this. And so he just checked into his hotel room in the Virgin Islands, and he's scrolling through the TV screens. Satisfied with the weather forecast, I continued flipping through the channels until I came across something that seemed different, which was the Cross Caribbean Countdown on the Tempo Network. They were doing a quick rundown of the top 10 videos, which included some names I remembered from songs long past, like Shaggy and Sean Paul. Apparently, after the run of fame ends in the US, lugnuts like Sean Paul and Shaggy are permanently banished to being ranked 8th and 6th disrespectfully on the Cross Caribbean Countdown. One thing that was neat about this network CCC program was that besides the name, title, and director of each video, they also put the country of origin that the artist was from. Thus far, I had seen Dominica, Jamaica, St. Kitts and Nevis, Trinidad and Tobago, but none from the US Virgin Islands as of yet. A familiar face at number 2 in the countdown was that Rihanna chick, who was still being played on the radio back on the mainland, and whom I would have no objection to giving a fine smashing just as long as she didn't make me beat her relentlessly after I was finished, like she did with that scumbag Chris Brown garbage pile. If there's one thing I absolutely refuse to stand... hitting page down instead of regular down. If there's one thing I absolutely refuse to stand, it is any sort of violence towards women. It is upsetting as it is criminal, and there's never a reason or excuse for it. Just as there is never a reason for the woman to forgive and take the man back after he has delivered any sort of drubbing, even though, unfortunately, they so often do, it seems. Perhaps out of fear, which is also unfortunate, but outside of Earth, there have been solutions in the laws that see to it that not only do men not even think about hitting a female, but if they did, the women do not have to feel any sort of fear about taking them back because of how severe the laws are towards domestic altercations. In fact, on Naribium, the punishment for violence towards women is being lambasted by the ass of the pulsating land walrus of Lake Coxsack in full public display. Then once the beast has finished pulverizing the guilty party's face, the guilty party is loaded onto a catapult where he is launched nearly half a mile out into Lake Coxsack, where the only way they are permitted to live is if they swim back to shore, where they will be promptly laughed at and have ceremonial hollowed-out turtle shells hurled at them from the thousands of spectators who come out and fill the stands to witness the display. While it was pleasing to the eyes and junk to watch her gyrating and pulsating in such a whorish manner, I clicked off the TV without even bothering to see what was the number one video because I was excited to go out and do some exploring. Tomorrow was likely going to be all business, and the day after that I would be leaving in the early afternoon and blah 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 blah. So, that is a paragraph from Dronningens Gade, which is completely taken out of context, but should be a funny and excitable book once it is finished.